What's going on, good folks? Welcome to another edition of High Sodium Content. So high, so salty. Now, on tonight's episode, well, the whole reason for it is I was having a discussion with a former coworker of mine, really good person. Love this chick. Let's just call her T, right? And I was talking with T. Don't know how we got on the topic, but she started asking me, how do you feel about Trump? I was like, I think he's a cool dude. I like his policies. I voted for him. Wish I did the first time. But, and then from that, spiraled down because I have my own opinions. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, you know? Everybody named Mama deserves to have their own opinion. Whether we agree with it or not, everybody's entitled to have one. And I feel like when you're a black American, they only want you to think one way, Democrat. Got to be Democrat. What did Biden say? You're not black if you don't vote for me. It'd be like that, man. It'd be like that. People, well, they want you to be Democrat all the time, all the time. But with that being said, let's check out Angryman's rant. And if you don't know who Angryman is, he has an awesome channel. Go check it out. He talks about red pill stuff. He talks about politics, news, everything. Kind of like how we do here. So let's check out his rant about being a black Trump supporter.
He was never considered a racist. And to all my family members, I'm going to tell you like this. You're smart to never have a conversation with me about Trump because the first thing I'm going to ask you is how. So.
Oh, my fault. I just clicked it.
He was never considered a racist. And to all my family members, I'm going to tell you like this. You're smart to never have a conversation with me about Trump because the first thing I'm going to ask you is how come I never heard his name come out of your mouth before he got elected? Before he beat Hillary, I never heard y'all utter a single word about Donald Trump. Now all of a sudden, that's all you think about?
Now, I feel like that's all people be talking about, man. Somebody sprained their ankle. Ah, Trump. Weather's bad. Ah, Trump. Money don't stack right. Ah, Trump. It's always Trump, bro. Trump is the boogeyman living rent free in everybody's head. I like his intro. His intro is dope. His intro is dope.
So there's a lot of people that watch my show, which includes friends and family. And many of them wonder, why is he a Trump supporter? Why does he support Donald Trump? Like, bro, that is so off code. Now, for those of you that watch my...
And just like I was saying a couple minutes ago, people consider it off code when you're black and you're not a Democrat. It's considered off code. Why? Why is it considered off code? Why? Why is it off code to go against the status quo? I don't know.
My show that are non-black. Let me try to break down for you why this is supposedly off code, right? For some odd reason, the black community, and this has just happened recently, as recently as him coming down the escalator. Matter of fact, I won't even say then. this started when he actually won the presidency the first time. For some odd reason, black people have decided that Donald Trump is persona non grata, right? And we'll circle back to that in a second. But with black folk, they say, "Oh, well, that's off code. Why you support him?" And you'll see all of the celebrities doing it, especially, right? So you got all of these people that they'll come at me and they'll basically say that you're off code, you're not supposed to be doing that. But they can never give me a legitimate reason as to why I shouldn't support them. They'll just say something, vague and arbitrary.
Right. It's always something. Well, he's a racist. He says racist things. Well, what did he say? Because maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm misinformed. What did he say? Oh, well, no, I really don't know. Can you tell me? Well, you just being stupid. Okay, now we going to the name calling now. Got you. Okay.
Like, oh, he's a racist without any proof, without any type of evidence, right? And so I sit back and I look at the situation and I look at what they did to Donald Trump, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is unprecedented, right? And some people would say, well, what do you mean? What's unprecedented? Well, here's the reality. The reality is America has always treated black men a certain way. America has always weaponized the justice system against black men. America has always tried to stop certain black men from reaching certain levels.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. Now, many of you are going to get in your fifis about that, and you're going to say, oh, here we go.
What's up, brother?
Playing the race card. I'm not playing a race card as much as I'm just merely pointing out the reality of it, right? So these are things that we know, and this is something that the black community knows as well. They know this. They know this. In fact, if you have any conversation with any black person that is on code, they will tell you, yes, this government definitely trumps up charges, no pun intended, on black men. This government definitely railroads black men. 1 in 3 black men have a record. They'll tell you, yes, this happens all the time. But what's amazing?
He's 100% right. 100% right. I mean, I've seen people get football numbers for something stupid, like something trivial, man. But I mean, anybody else, any other demographic, maybe it's a couple of years, just a couple. But for the black guy, nah, you gotta do the time.
Amazing about this is these black people can see that. They can see that. They can say, okay, yeah, there's plenty of black men that have been brought up on felonious charges and have been convicted and had to go to prison and serve time, and they never did nothing wrong. They was innocent men. They can recognize the clandestine plans and plots and schemes in order to disenfranchise black men and stop black men from reaching certain positions of power and things of that nature, until the same government does that to a white man that they don't like.
What?
That they don't even know why they don't like him. That's right. This is the first time in history, black folk, and
and like I can attest to this, because when I grew up, used to see Donald Trump on everything. He was in Home Alone. He made a cameo on Home Alone, Fresh Prince, which was a black show, a really popular black show at the time. For y'all that that don't know. And he was always in something. He was always around black folk. That's one thing I can remember as a kid. And then like when I fell into like the Trump hatred, because like prior to what was it 2020? Like I started to like see how they were painting him as a villain, and seeing how like they would cut certain things and edit it like a certain way, and it wouldn't be quite what he said, or it'd be out of context, just so like they can paint him as a villain. And I was like, wait a minute, man, that's kind of messed up. And then I started going back and I started looking at like a lot of his speeches and a lot of things that he said, and it wasn't to that degree. It wasn't racist, the stuff he was saying. He wasn't exactly, bro. Exactly. Like that's the crazy thing. Like he was winning awards. He funded Jesse Jackson's presidential run. He gave him money for that. Him and Jesse Jackson were best friends. Like it's bizarre when Jennifer Hudson's family went through that murder and everything like that. He put her and her family in the hotel for months. No, he don't want any money for it. So how can that man that does things like that for black people be that racist? Be that racist. And then you got Joe Biden up here talking about, well, you can't work at 7-Eleven without a slight Indian accent. Or he's the most articulate, talking about Barack Obama. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. I don't want my kids being in a racial jungle. See, these are things like I can point to and articulate to you and tell you why I didn't like Biden, why he should have never been a nominee, he should have never been president. If you guys are so fixated on people being racist, how did he get elected? How? How did he get elected? That's that mindset. That's that mentality, man. They done pulled that card, that racist card, I don't know how many times, and then they throw it in your face. How many times have reparations been up on the board and the Democrats controlled everything? The House, Supreme Court, the presidency. Nothing done. Nothing done. And then they'll be like, well, what do the Republicans do? Well, you don't vote for the Republicans. You don't put your energy towards that. You've already made it to the point where like they don't try and cater because they know who you're gonna vote for in the end. And that's sad. But now we're starting to see that baseline starting to decrease a little bit. It's gone down from like 90 something percent to like 80 something now. But
I'm telling the truth. This is the first time in history that you have ever seen a Christian, straight, white male that was already a billionaire, that became a president, get prosecuted. This is the first time. This is the first time you've ever seen this happen. In other words,
my man Sean on board, bro.
Gave Donald
Trump you cooking, bro.
The same
you cooking tonight
that they normally give black men.
Knowledgeable brother.
Straight up and down. Just because they did not want him to be president.
Yep.
Literally gave him the same treatment, right? And some of you will be like, well, no, that's not true, Angryman, because if he was a black man, they would have tried to take him out. Right? Now, here's the interesting thing about this. The interesting thing about this is that
I can't.
You had your first black president.
I can't have that Israel conversation on here. Maybe on Rumble. I could do it on Rumble, but we can't do it here because we know how they like to censor. I don't want to be called no ass. But yo, we know, we know. I think the world knows, or starting to wake up.
President, which was Barack Obama. You had your first black president, Barack Obama, right? But they didn't give Barack Obama the black man treatment.
And that was kind of odd. I noticed that too. I noticed that too. Like looking back on it, yeah, yeah, they did not give him that smoke. They did not give Obama that smoke. Why is that though?
They didn't. You mean to tell me, and I want y'all to think about this, black folk. I want you to think about this. You mean to tell me that you had your first black president and
Yeah,
the Republicans who you
yes, he
claim
was.
are racist, who you claim are supremacists that didn't like Barack Obama, you mean to tell me they weren't able to hit Barack with no charges? So in your mind, it makes sense that the Democrats were able to prosecute a former sitting president that was a white man and a billionaire, but the so-called racist Republicans that you claim don't like black people weren't able to prosecute the first black president?
Yeah, they would
Are
have
you
found
serious?
something. They would have found
They
something.
gave Donald Trump 34 felonies, fake felonies, but they gave him 34 felonies. You mean to tell me they couldn't find one felony for Barack,
He did some shit.
the racist Republican?
The worst thing Obama did was with Gaddafi. See, a lot of people don't know that Gaddafi was gonna create his own currency and kind of like unify things, and he was extending like offers to like Obama, and like the snake he is, he killed him. Don't believe me? Look it up.
Republicans, knowing we in a country that gives black men felonies like they're handing out Halloween candy.
Yep. Football numbers.
What's really interesting
With
about
kids.
this entire situation is
You gotta tell me about that one. I gotta have you on the show, bro.
Literally set back black people. You allowed the Democrats to trick you into hating a white guy that was a billionaire, that became president, that always rocked with you.
Always.
There's countless photos of Donald Trump just hanging out with black people like it was going out of style. Mike Tyson, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. I mean, the list goes on, not to mention the countless rappers that have literally shouted him out in albums, right? But you, black folk, you have allowed the Democrats to trick you into hating the white guy that's a billionaire, that became president, that always rocked with y'all.
See, that's not even the point. That's not even the point, bro. It's the fact how I forgot where I was going with this, man. It's the fact how not even like all of those accolades, not even being the billionaire and all that stuff, the fact how you could be manipulated so hard into believe in a hating somebody and you don't know why. That is the crux of this argument. That's the crux of this whole thing. That's what I can't understand. I can tell you, like I don't hate nobody. I don't believe in that. It's too much energy wasted. I can dislike somebody. I can dislike what they do. Now, if they're a piece if they're a piece of shit, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're a vile, extremely awful person, I can hate somebody like that. I can. The media is crazy. That psyop, it got all of y'all, man. Not not y'all here, cause y'all the smart folk, but it got all of y'all hating somebody and you don't know why. You don't know why. You can't substantiate it. You can't articulate it. You can't point a finger at it. You can't show me anywhere. Things may be out of context, bad taste, whatever. It may even be some words you don't like, but call that man what you will. Racist ain't one of them.
For what? The one guy that literally was willing to help, the one guy that was willing to fund Jesse Jackson's campaign for president. If Jesse would have won, he would have been the first black president.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that, right? This is the guy that funded the black man that would have been the first black president. And you allowed the Democrats to trick you into hating that guy so much that you sat idly.
What did Malcolm X say? To be hoodwinked and bamboozled.
By and watched him receive the same type of railroading through the justice system that you claim has been so unfair to you and all of the black men you know for the better part of a century. I'm gonna say that again. You have the nerve to come over here and tell me I'm off code for supporting a white president that's a billionaire that always rocked with black people my entire life. I've never known him not to rock with black people. That was willing and said he wanted to invest $500 billion into the black community. That was willing to have that conversation with Ice Cube before he got elected.
Let's be serious. We make shit hot. Anything we do becomes style, becomes fashion, becomes slang, becomes vernacular. Anything we do, since we've been on the shores in this country, we've been inventors. We've done it all. Black people make stuff cool. Black people make stuff look awesome. We are probably the biggest consumer. Wish we were like the biggest producer, but we're the biggest consumer in this country. Nothing moves without the black dollar. Let's keep it real.
Elected. Unlike Joe Biden, who said he wouldn't have the conversation until after he got elected, and once he got elected, didn't have the conversation with Ice Cube. Right? The same.
Oh man, my man cooking tonight. Yo, facts. Yep. And even oh man, that LBJ. Oh, oh, was the FBI guy? I can't think of his name. But somebody told me that too. I can't think of his name right now. Oh, I'm having a brain fart.
Same black president that signed, the same white president that signed the First Step Act, which allowed thousands of nonviolent offenders to be released from prison that were only locked up because of Joe Biden and Bill Clinton's 94 crime bill.
Yep.
Thousands of people, nonviolent offenders released from prison, 90% of which were black. Not to mention the countless black people he's pardoned. Pardon Jack Johnson, right? Not to mention Obama signed some crap that increased the funding to colleges, but the way it was done, the way it was allocated, Black universities were actually getting the short end of the stick. They actually ended up getting less money. Historical Black colleges was getting less money.
Yep.
He saw them at the White House, the representatives for those historically Black colleges, trying to get funding. He asked them what was going on. Okay, cool. He said, I'll fix it. He increased the funding to $250 million in addition to fixing it so that they don't have to apply once a year. They only have to apply every 10 years.
Yep.
This guy, the guy that created opportunity zones, the guy that constantly does things for the Black community, as much as the Democrats try to pretend that they did. You know what Barack Obama did for the Black community? Absolutely nothing. The entire time that he was in office, all 8 years, out of all of the money, which is billions of dollars, I think $78 billion that was allocated to small businesses and shit, Black folk got less than 1% of that, right? But you hate Donald Trump, right?
Crazy.
The one guy that was already a billionaire, that wasn't part of the political system, that wasn't part of their little goofy games.
And I think that's what he's trying to get at. He didn't have to self-aggrandize himself. He was already there. He was already there. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to join certain clubs and well, you know, who, you know, I mean, I don't think he's in any secret societies or anything like that. I could be wrong. But he didn't have to worm his way in there, you know, and do funny time stuff. He was already established, you know, which is another like it's kind of nice to know. All the people on that Epstein list and whatnot. It's nice to know.
That got in there, that genuinely wanted to do something for the American people. And in his mind, he includes Black people as the American people. Unlike the other presidents that y'all claim are so racist. Unlike the other presidents that y'all claim always exclude Black people. This is the one president that wasn't part of the political system that wanted to fix something. That always rocked with Black people.
What up, Jay?
Always done for Black people.
Yep.
You allowed the Democrats to trick you into hating him so much that you stood by and watched them treat this man the way you didn't want to be treated. Y'all always screaming about injustice. You always screaming about how Black men have been treated and railroaded.
Yep.
And just the fact that they did this
Angryman
to him should let you know something. Come on, Black folk.
Oh, what's good, John?
I need you to think. Why is he the first president they've done this to? And before you try to say,
because he's trying to help Black folk. That's why. Listen, anytime, if y'all notice, the Democrats ever try and do something exclusively for Black people is never done. It's always Black and brown. It's always Black and LGBTQ, IA, QX, RZ, sometimes one. It's everybody else. Even with DEI, statistically, it's white women that benefit more from DEI, not Black folk. And they do that intentionally. It's like dangling a carrot on a stick just to get you to keep voting for them. See, they do something for us, but you don't benefit from it. And the one dude that has a track record of helping the community, FM. No. FM. He's a racist.
say, well, they did this to him because he's crooked and this, that, and the third. Oh, really? Then why is he suing all of them for all of the stuff they're doing and winning? You know the reason why he's winning those cases? Because they weren't supposed to do the stuff they did to him. That case up in with Letitia James, where they said, oh, he overvalued his property so that he could get a better loan. The people at Deutsche Bank said, bro, we knew what he was doing. We didn't have a problem with what he was doing because we knew how much the property was valued for. In addition to that, he's paid us back numerous times. Nobody was damaged. When they took that to appeals court, Letitia James' team, they was lucky to get out of the courtroom without getting sanctions put on them because the appeal courts is like, why are y'all doing this? You've never done this before. You've never done this to anybody before. Not to mention the fine that y'all hit him with was unprecedented. How are you even justifying this? But that's not shocking because when Letitia James and them was going to bring that case, it was laughable. People were saying, don't bring this case. That's ridiculous. Right? Trump is winning in that arena. Then when it comes to the, he tried to bring a different set of electors. Well, if you knew anything, if you paid attention in civics class, what you would know is that anytime a president is in an election and he challenges the results of an election, he has to have a different set of electors.
I vaguely remember learning that.
If he actually wins his challenge. If he wins his challenge, in other words, if he challenges the results of the election and they say, okay, you know what? Yeah, we did a recount, and yeah, you actually did win. At that point, he would need to have a different set of electors, right? But this is the main reason why that case didn't go anywhere, because they were trying to sensationalize the idea of him sending a different set of electors because you, the public, the unsuspecting public, you don't know enough about the political process to know that he's allowed to do that. Just like when you say, oh, he was calling people saying, find the votes. All politicians call people and say, find the votes. That don't mean find some illegitimate votes. It means go out. The polls are still open. Get people to the polls so they can vote. That's what that means. That's what that means. But y'all don't know that, right? Then you got the notorious 34 felonies. Really? It's not even 34 felonies. It's 34 counts of one felony. Because when they claim that his lawyer put the entry in the books as a legal fee, this is the money that was paid to Stormy Daniels to not tell his business, right? First of all, what he was doing with Stormy Daniels was not illegal. So him to pay her to keep her mouth shut was not illegal. Let's get that out of the way. So they try to say, oh, well, you're not supposed to put that in your books as a legal fee entry, not to mention the fact that he didn't even do it. The lawyer did it, right? So they looked and saw how many times it was in there. They're like, oh, it's 34 times. We're going to charge him for that. But guess what? Even that wasn't a felony. It's supposed to be a misdemeanor. But they elevated the charge so that they could get a headline, right? So that they could get their popcorn headline and you dummies would believe it. That's why you're still running around here talking about he's a felon and he got 34 felonies.
34 felonies. 34 felonies. You vote for president. 34 felonies. The felonies. Oh, man, them people weird, bro.
Ricky Smiley, freaking D.L. Hughley. Y'all are morons. And you think we're not smart enough to know what's going on. Of course we know what's going on. But I just find it disgusting, right? I just find it disgusting. Even in that situation, you had the judge telling the jury, because the jury was like, they couldn't figure out what he did illegal. And you know what the judge said to him? You know how the judge instructed them? The judge said to them, well, look, do you feel like he did something wrong? And they were like, yeah.
That's crazy.
You need to do what you need to do. And
that's crazy. Listen, people be talking about the police. Some of these judges out here are freaking whack jobs, bro. They will ruin your life in a heartbeat, and they be doing the craziest shit, bro. The craziest, man. I've seen this judge, the guy. It was the attorney, right? And the attorney said something. The judge challenged him to fight. in court. And then, man, the lawyer was like, all right, you want that smoke? Okay. We about to win this case and you about to catch these hands. And that's what happened. Long story short, the judge wound up getting disbarred. And uh, I mean, it's crazy, bro. Like these judges are insane, man. There was some freaking whack job judge that the freaking illegal immigrant, I think, stabbed somebody or something like that. The judge released him back into the wild to stab somebody else. I mean, he took poker literally. Went out there to poke some more people. But this is what these crazy judges do. And I hate to say it, man. It be these liberal judges, man. Like liberalism has destroyed the mind. It is like you don't have to think as a liberal at all. Critical thinking, what's that? My brain, I don't need that. Throw that out the window. We don't need that. We can't function like that as a society. What's a woman? Oh, it could be anything you want to be. It's never been that. It's never been that in millions of years. It's never been that. It's never been that. Listen, if you want to identify as a banana, that's fine. A spaceship, a telephone. I don't really care. Nobody really cares. But when you try and force me to do it, that's the problem. When you try and push me into your delusion, that's a problem. And these people are very delusional. These judges, that's crazy. You want to instruct people to do the wrong thing? This is 2026. This is the society that we live in. Where anything goes. Anything goes. If you believe in the land of make believe, it's your truth, my truth. Yes, it's all a spectrum. Love, but if you don't agree with me, I'm gonna punch you. But you're the most violent. It's like they live in projection land. The stuff that they accuse everybody else of doing, they do it. They do it. God forbid you type the wrong thing. You make the wrong comment. Oh no. Oh no, you're gonna get banned. You're gonna get banned off that platform. You hurt somebody's feelings. Bring back bullying, bro. Bring back bullying. The ecosystem is out of whack. You got the ants trying to eat the lions. Like what are we doing here? What are we doing? It don't make no kind of sense. And it's like you always have to walk on eggshells, man. I miss the '90s. I miss the early 2000s. Well, like I can say the F word and not have to get ridiculed. I can call a chick a C word and not have to muzzle myself or censor myself. Where we didn't have to say grape or SA, you know, and not have to talk about me writing a paper or not. These were topics we can talk about, and now we can't do it. A guy, or you're going to get flagged. Oh no, you said the wrong thing. Oh, we gonna have to put. Oh, that's a strike. No, no, no. To to appease like such a marginalized like group, just the smallest section, just to appease them, and it's insane. It's insane, and it's so backwards. We have gone so backwards. I used to think when I was a kid, man, by 2026 we'd be having, I don't know, flying cars. I had me a flying skateboard like in Back to the Future, you know, self-lacing shoes. What happened to that? What happened to that? Now we up here talking about what's a woman? What's a woman? Are you serious, man? Are you serious? Are you serious, bro? I mean, it's liberalism, bro. And like to think, I used to think like that. I mean, not about all that other stuff, man. When it got bizarre, I was out. I was already out. But just to think, like, there's people that will know, like, that shit sounds batshit crazy, and still go along with it, just because vote blue no matter who. We got to get those Republicans out. That is the most dumbest, most ignorant thing anybody can do is not use that God given brain. And we don't use a lot of it. It's only like 5%. Use the 5%, damn it. Please. Critically think. Don't just listen to goofballs on the news. Don't even listen to what I say. Challenge it. Challenge it. Look this stuff up.
That's how he got that bogus conviction.
Exactly.
Let's just be real. But what disgusts me the most about this situation is black people buying into that crap.
Mm-hmm.
The same people that saw what they did to Reuben Hurricane Carter, the same people that sat back and watched as countless black men have been put through that same process, that same railroading process, all because they want to stop you from doing something. And now all of a sudden, because it's Trump and because these Democrats have convinced you not to like him, now all of a sudden you want to pretend that you don't see it. Now all of a sudden you want to pretend like you got blinders. Now all of a sudden you want to act like you don't see the flaws in the criminal justice system and how it can be weaponized against people when you've been complaining about this shit for decades.
Mm-hmm.
Are we serious? So to all of the people that watch me, when you try to come at me and say, oh, why do you support Trump? You off code, blase blam. Don't try to come at me with that because I'm not off code. You off code. You off code for the simple fact that Trump was never.
He played the reverse Uno. He played the reverse Uno card. Yo ass off code.
Never considered a racist. Even with that Central Park 5 mess, he was never considered a racist. And to all my family members, I'm going to tell you like this. You're smart to never have a conversation with me about Trump because the first thing I'm going to ask you is how come I never heard his name come out of your mouth before he got elected? Before he beat Hillary, I never heard y'all utter a single word about Donald Trump. Now all of a sudden.
And let's talk about that for a moment. That whole Central Park 5 thing. I was about 4. I think it was like 80, 89 or 88. I was like 4 years old. I don't remember it. But I remember my parents talking about it like recently. And they point the finger at him. They don't talk about Linda Fairstein, the prosecutor who trumped up all those charges, no pun intended. Who did all that? They don't talk about her. They don't talk about the detectives that coerced those boys into making that confession. No. They talk about the man who made something like a tweet as we would know it today. It's the equivalent of a tweet. It was like an ad in the paper, and like if these are the people that did it, they need to be put under the jail. Something like that. But he's the racist though. Not Linda Fairstein, who is still making money off of it. Sick bastard. Not those detectives. No. And the stuff that happened to Corey Wise, man. Oh, horrible stuff. And it changed his life. Drastically altered his life because they wanted to get a conviction. They didn't know who it was, but they wanted to pick these black kids. But Trump's the racist, not Linda Fairstein. Oh no, 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 not Mrs. Linda Fairstein. No, no, no. Come on, bro. Think critically.
That's all you think about? Now all of a sudden he lives rent-free in your head? All I'm going to tell you is this. Go do your research before you come at me talking about Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. Go do your research because I know what I'm talking about. I've done my research. Mm-hmm. Know what you're talking about. Because I'm going to tell you right now, as a black man, sitting back, watching what they've done to that man, there is no way on God's green earth that I can sit back, watch that shit, and be cool with it. Absolutely no way on God's green earth can I sit back and be cool with that shit. Not to mention being inquisitive enough to wonder, what is it about him that would make them do that to a billionaire white man that was a former president when they've never done that to anybody at that level?
They didn't even do that to Bill Clinton.
That's white. They've never done that. What they did to Donald Trump is unprecedented.
Legendary.
And if you think I don't know what I'm talking about, then you tell me this. You name for me the billionaire white man that became president that they prosecuted after. You name him for me. You name him for me. You name me that guy, and then we'll have a conversation. But until then, shut up.
Let him cook. Let that man cook. He sauteed, he baked, he fried, he even flambéed. But that's Angryman, and you know that's I can share that sentiment. It baffles me, the hatred for this man. This will go down in history books as to how the media and propaganda was so great to make a populace hate a man, and they don't know why. They don't know why. They can't point to anything concrete, anything specific. When you challenge a liberal on that, they get upset. They curse at you, name call you an idiot, a moron. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't do your research. And you ask them where do you do your research? I watch the news. Yeah, I agree. They are attacking him because he does shit. He speaks on the truth. And these are things that like people don't want to challenge or they feel uncomfortable about, and they don't want to have those discussions. He is that dude, though. I've never seen in my lifetime from I was low at the time, so I think I went through Reagan, too little, Bush 1, Clinton, Bush 2, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump. Never seen anything like this. Never. I never seen my parents, well, maybe because they're older, but I never seen anybody be so invested in the politics like how they are now. It was never so polarized. Like, you used to see these people go to lunch together. I'm pretty sure they still do. And you just never saw this. Like, this is unheard of. This is uncharted territory, man. And like he was saying, if he can do that to him, a white guy with a lot of money, what can they do to me or you? Yeah, he started taking money out of the pockets of leeches. Yup, 1,000%. What do you say he was going to do? Drain the swamp? They've been talking about these Epstein files for I don't know how long. And they've been sitting on the files for I don't know how long. My man said, okay, you going to keep pressing me on it? I'll do it. And they thought he was going to be in there. Mm-mm. At least not in the way that you think. Mm-mm. Informant. He snitched. He snitched on the dude. And everybody else chopping it up. Epstein Island, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Ellen DeGeneres, Clinton, this one, that one. All complicit. All complicit. Allegedly. But he is the pedophile. He is the bad guy. Orange man bad. Because the TV told me so. And this is where we at, folks. This is where we at. All right, y'all. Always, man. I thank y'all so much. So much. I hope God blesses all y'all, man. For real. I really do, man. Jesus is everything, bro. He's incredible. Like I never thought that I would have an editor, I would have a platform like this, able to speak my mind, um, you know, reach everybody the way I do. At least the four of y'all. But yeah, I enjoy this, man, and I encourage people to come to know Christ. I mean, he's like Windex, man. He work on everything in your life, anything that's messed up. Jesus, shit, man. Oh yeah, for now, man. We gonna grow. We gonna grow, man. But like I said, man, I really appreciate this. Um, don't forget to check out sodiumsyndicate.com. Get all this cool merch. I'm wearing the green one because it's St. Patty's Day. I had this on top of the morning. So yeah, we got all that cool, great shit, man. We got it. We got everything. We got t-shirts, hoodies. We're doing backpacks soon. We're doing anything, wallets. I think we're gonna start doing wallets. Anything we can slap a sodium syndicate label and we gonna slap it on there like a baby's ass. Oh man, appreciate y'all, bro. With that being said, man, stay salty. Peace.